Milford Sound.
Moving like a wave through a rocky riverbed. Sometimes love is a dancer in the dark, spinning, laughing, twirling through the back door of your heart. And every time I think of you, something happens in my mind. And every time I try to leave, I keep back, losing track of time. Losing track of time. Sometimes love is a thought. Sometimes it's alright just to be a little wrong, with no sense of consequence, the strength to carry on. The day breaks in the darkest place, right before the dawn. So if you ever lie awake with situations in your mind, and you try to sleep it off, but night keeps on passing by, you're losing track of time. Losing track of time.
Way up to the Lockheed where our master station is situated, away from one of my crew. Come up here and just along the rock face. It's the most iconic peak here in Milford Sound. It's the one you see it. But there's not a lot coming off here today, so you guys are pretty.
Mamaya na lang tayo mag-fresh burger.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Good.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
So he did something crazy. He buy her a vineyard. So
Even in the US, like
yes. So the wine club is a mix of the five winery inside, and every crop is, like we say, is low carbs. So that is great. But this one is very.
green bow or butterfish. It's a fish that is caught in between both islands in the Cook Strait waters. And
loin here, belly here, crackling on top, and then we have a few condiments of pickled rhubarb, apple sauce, and then pork.
a snail which has been calling New Zealand its home for millions of years.
So you don't need to worry about this one, it's not
Beh, ma ha provato la... ha fatto troppo bene.
Piano, perché adesso lo vedo spalancato.
Fantastico.
Informal tasting, so yeah, just go for it. Oh yeah, they spend